evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Frisco. It is Thursday, the 25th day of June, and this is CTV News. Tonight, getting tough on retail crime. New laws target thieves, vandals, and threats. Paddlers from dozens of countries compete to be the world's best at Lake Binook. And a real-life hero, St. John man, is recognized for a frigid water rescue.
Live from our Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Bruce Frisco.
Good evening. Some long-awaited and encouraging news for retailers around here. As we've been reporting for months now, those store owners have been increasingly vocal about growing problems of violence, vandalism, theft. Facing a barrage of criticism that it's too soft on crime, the federal government today announced some tougher measures. CTV's Vanessa Wright has more.
Canada's Justice Minister taking a stroll down Halifax's Spring Garden Road this morning, an area that's long been a target for retail crime.
We heard from business owners repeatedly who are increasingly frustrated when people don't want to come to their downtown business districts because of the culture that has emerged with episodes of crime and often violent crime. After
hearing those concerns and perhaps with pressure from the opposition, the federal government says changes have been made to Bill C-14, Canada's Bail and Sentencing Act. It includes making bail harder to get for repeat offenders, directing police to detain someone accused for a bail hearing, and asking judges to consider consecutive sentences for violent repeat offenders. While some businesses support the crackdown, confidence it will work has dwindled.
There's been many stories where police have had people in custody and everything like that, and before they get finished writing up the paperwork, the person's back out on the street doing the exact same thing.
Are you hopeful this bill will make a difference for people in the area?
Again, I've been here for 43 years. No.
Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
And the Nova Scotia government has ramped up its crackdown on what it considers illegal cannabis sales. Province today announcing new offenses and higher fines to help limit sales to government-run retail stores. So as of today, retailers outside of the NSLC are barred from advertising or otherwise promoting their sales, and landlords who look the other way could face fines of up to $25,000. Buyers could be hit with fines of up to $5,000 for purchases outside of the NSLC, and business fines for selling now top out at $50,000. Justice Minister says at the end of the day, this is a health and safety issue.
We want to keep cannabis out of the hands of youth. We want to make sure that adults who legally ingest cannabis for recreational purposes do so with a safe supply, which is from a Health Canada approved producer. And in Nova Scotia, the only producer that can disperse cannabis legally is the Nova Scotia Liquor Corporation.
The province, of course, has been at odds with First Nations communities over the issue for months after the government ordered a crackdown that resulted in more than a dozen raids at dispensaries, and many of them in their communities back in the spring. There was almost immediate blowback. Some residents converged on the shops during the raids, resulting in some tense situations. In one case, officers wound up abandoning their vehicles, returned later to find them heavily vandalized.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
2 people have died in a 3-vehicle accident in Nova Scotia's Antigonish County. This happened yesterday afternoon on Highway 104 near Beaver Meadow. Police say a pickup truck rear-ended a Honda CR-V, which had slowed down in a construction zone. The Honda then hit a semi-truck. 67-year-old man and 59-year-old woman died at the scene. The investigation, police say, is ongoing. A woman is facing attempted murder charges after she allegedly struck 2 women with her vehicle in North Sydney yesterday. Happened mid-afternoon in the parking lot of the supermarket on King Street. Police say the 2 women were hit by a vehicle. 84-year-old was taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. 52-year-old suffered minor injuries. 50-year-old Colleen Blanche Burton appeared in court this afternoon. Police say the victims and Burton are known to each other. 72-year-old woman is bruised and shaken after a frightening carjacking incident in Moncton. The victim had just stopped at a friend's house when she noticed someone getting into her car. She tried to stop the person but wound up getting thrown to the ground and injured.
It was the absolute most terrifying thing, and to happen in our town, like to happen in a town where she's lived 72 years in that city. And it's just heartbreaking. You know what I mean? That she can't go out, she can't go visit a friend.
Police are investigating, and they did recover the vehicle, but the woman's purse and ID are long gone. Just this morning, another vehicle was stolen just a few kilometers away. The overdose crisis in Moncton shows no sign of slowing down, and that is having a significant impact on frontline workers at homeless shelters there. CTV's Derek Haggett has that story tonight.
For our staff, it's been both emotionally and physically exhausting. They're responding to crisis after crisis, day after day, while continuing to provide 24-hour care.
Some staggering statistics from community agency Harvest House Atlantic. From June 1st to June 24th, the shelter's teams have managed a total of 873 overdose calls, an average of 36 a day. The total needing naloxone intervention was 320, an average of 18 per day. Their highest day was 70 overdose responses. The shelter manager at the St. George Street Hub says staff are tired but still showing up day after day.
They are supporting the same people that they have built relationships with over years, and having to find themselves saving these lives on a regular basis, sometimes the same people in the same shift.
There are days when it's a little less, but it's very sporadic and unpredictable, and from what we've seen, it's not slowing down.
To alleviate some pressure on staff, the John Howard Society has started the Adopt a Shift initiative. Local businesses, organizations, and community members can provide meals, snacks, drinks, or notes of encouragement. And those little acts of kindness are increasing morale. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
We've learned a little bit more tonight about that Halifax-bound Air Canada flight that wound up diverting to Boston when the pilot suffered some kind of medical emergency. Passenger Rodney McDonald and his wife were on board the flight. McDonald says the pilot appeared to be having a seizure, and he and other passengers helped the flight attendants restrain the pilot.
Me and about 4 other guys managed to get multiple seatbelts around him, his ankles, his wrists, his chest, his waist, and we still had to physically hold him in place for about a half an hour. And he was not coherent. He was not able to respond to us. He was just yelling at the top of his lungs. And then by the time the first responders got onto the plane, he was more or less answering their questions. But I would say he was still very confused with what had happened.
The first officers safely landed the plane in Boston. The pilot was then rushed to Massachusetts General Hospital. There's no word on his condition. The death of a young person in the report chronicling his experiences in New Brunswick's welfare system has sparked demands for change. CTV's Anna Mandan has more.
I am terrified every day that we will have another Bobby.
It's messages like this that this youth advocate hopes will hit home with members of the legislature. It was delivered at a recently reconvened standing committee on social policy after a teenager, referred to as Bobby, died of an overdose, following years of social development workers declining to intervene.
Bobby let his voice be heard, and nobody listened, time and time again.
According to a report from the Child and Youth Advocate, social workers screened out 15 referrals for the Social Development Department to intervene in his life, including concerns that Bobby and his mother were homeless and that the youth's mother was using drugs. Now, some advocates say they too are seeing situations similar to Bobby's played out sometimes every day.
We see kids that when help is denied, they end up in the sex trade. They end up trafficked. They end up facing more significant mental health and addiction struggles.
Social Development Minister Cindy Miles issued a statement yesterday saying the department has reviewed each case cited in the report in detail and that the department has partnered with an external organization to better support youth experiencing homelessness and other needs. But for many, the push for change is urgent.
The house is on fire. We have to put out the fire and then prevent the fire from happening again.
Anna Mandan, CTV News, Fredericton.
No matter what their language, everyone, it seems, has something to say about the state of bilingualism in New Brunswick. A group of MLAs heard it all today as they gathered public feedback during a province-wide tour.
We're very satisfied with the level, the quality and quantity of presenters that we had in front of us.
Is not to dismantle bilingualism. It is to build on that principle, which is the soul of New Brunswick.
The committee's report is due to government by the end of the year. Not every day a famous singing group comments on local traffic in Halifax, but that is what happened today. In a tongue-in-cheek public service announcement on Facebook, the Chicks told their 1.5 million followers the McDonald Bridge was closed to traffic today to, quote, replace the lane control system, presumably in anticipation of the Chicks concert this weekend. The group is scheduled to perform in the city tomorrow night, headlining at Halifax Music Fest. Blue Rodeo is there. The post goes on to say, please follow for all important updates related to the Angus L. McDonald Bridge. Still to come tonight, Caitlin's full forecast, and we'll give you a heads up about tick season for your pets, and it's pretty bad this year. Coming up next, a big weekend on the water.
This Masters Championships, we're so fortunate it came to Dartmouth.
The best paddlers from dozens of countries taking to the waters of Lake Banook today. That's next. Stay with us, won't you?
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Join us all this week for the $1,000 Minute with Atlantic Superstore.
Celebrating 40 years and giving you $200 just for playing this week.
Quick little programming note for you. You already know that TSN, CTV, and Crave are your home for coverage of the FIFA World Cup 2026. We're proud of that. It means, though, on certain days, CTV News at 5, CTV News at 6 will have to move to CTV 2 to accommodate our coverage. That will happen again tomorrow, so look for our supper hour programs on CTV 2 tomorrow. And, of course, you're always invited to go to ctvnewsatlantic.ca to see the full FIFA schedule. Few people are happier to see the sunshine in the Halifax area today than the many athletes competing in the World Canoe Championships. The best paddlers, in fact, from 60 countries took to the waters of Lake Banook today. CTV's Jonathan McGuinness was there, too.
Ready, set, The International Canoe Masters is the first of 2 global events hitting the waters of Lake Banook over the next 11 days.
I paddled in the 1984 and 88 Olympics.
Nancy Olmsted has also won over 50 Canadian medals during her canoeing career. For her, this event, featuring athletes aged 35 to 70, is an opportunity to continue to compete at the Masters level and also a way to reconnect with people she raced with and against over the years.
It's like a reunion, and it's great. And I think this Masters Championships, we're so fortunate it came to Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. They do a wonderful job. And then to see all my fellow teammates from 20 years ago, we always say, well, we haven't changed a bit.
Banook's amazing. It's kind of an anomaly. Having 3 racing clubs on one lake is unheard of globally.
This event is setting the stage for the Junior and Under-23 Canoe Sprint World Championships, running from July 1st to the 5th. Giving fans a glimpse at the next round of international Olympic athletes.
Some of them you will see on the start line in LA 2028, absolutely. We have world champions at the senior level who are competing at the under-23s next week.
Once again, putting the International Canoe Kayak spotlight on Lake Banook. Jonathan McGuinness, CTV News, Dartmouth.
Thank you, John. Time for a quick little break here, but when we return, your complete maritime weather forecast. You know, Lake Banook is not just for paddling. It's a great night for a little fishing there as well. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thursday evening, 25th day of June. It was just a gorgeous day around the Halifax area earlier today. Was that the case kind of everywhere, or because I know it got sort of cloudy later on.
Yeah, it was a little bit variable around the region. Certainly the sunniest conditions through a good portion of the day were around western areas of Nova Scotia. Sun did break through at times for parts of New Brunswick and even for areas of Prince Edward Island, but temperatures were held a little bit cooler for eastern parts of the region for today because of a wind off the Gulf of St. Lawrence. So that includes PEI and parts of the east of Nova Scotia, including Cape Breton. Most of the 20s were found in western areas of New Brunswick and the west of Nova Scotia. Now, coming up for tomorrow, we do see a change in our weather pattern as we have a low pressure system making its way through southern Ontario. The warm front with this low is going to be making its way up through the northeastern United States. It's going to be pushing some showery conditions along with it, and that's going to be developing in the province of New Brunswick throughout the day on Friday, with eventually, just a little bit later on, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia getting into some of those showers. So here's a look at our forecast timeline for cloud cover and precipitation heading into the start of the day for tomorrow. There will be some fog that's developing during the overnight around the Maritime, so expect that to be around first thing in the morning before dissipating or retreating to parts of the coast. And then there's the first of the showers arriving up around the northwestern corner of New Brunswick pretty early Friday morning. But then from there, as we make our way from the morning into the afternoon, showers develop for other areas of New Brunswick, maybe arriving a little bit later in the day around Moncton, the southeast. And then for Friday evening and Friday night, that's when a few of these showers are expected to come in across Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia, with some of the showery conditions lingering for those two provinces into and through Saturday. Now, rainfall amounts in those showers in a lot of cases will be a few to several millimeters, but it is possible that within the general area of wet weather, there's a couple heavier showers or maybe a small thunderstorm. And if one of those moves directly over top of your community, you could pick up rainfall amounts as high as 10 to 20 millimeters of rain. Winds for Friday are going to be out of the south. They'll be mostly sustained, 10 to 20 kilometers per hour, and we'll have some gusts between 20 and 30. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight around the Maritimes. In a lot of cases, between 10 and 14 degrees. A little bit cooler in Cape Breton, there between 8 and 10. Highs for tomorrow in the north of New Brunswick, 19 for Edmundston, 18 for Campbellton, and 19 degrees for Miramichi. And down through central and southern parts of the province, 21 for Fredericton for tomorrow. And the same thing goes for St. John, 22 degrees for Moncton in the southeast. Summerside tomorrow with a high temperature near 20 degrees. Charlottetown closer to 22, and then around 18 for St. Peter's Bay and Surrey. Cape Breton for tomorrow with high temperatures mostly between 18 and 21, though around the Atlantic coastline, highs between 16 and 18 degrees. The reason for that is that light southerly wind is a little bit more onshore for that part of Cape Breton off the Atlantic waters. North shore of Nova Scotia with high temperatures in the low 20s. On the eastern shore, coastal areas between around 14 and 17 degrees. 24 for Truro for tomorrow, 19 for the city centers Halifax and Dartmouth, 22 at Amherst. In the Annapolis Valley, high temperatures in the low 20s. And on the south shore of Nova Scotia, coastal areas with highs mostly between 19 and 21. Taking a look at the extended forecast, beginning with New Brunswick. So showers on Friday, then a lower chance of showers on both Saturday and Sunday. Should be spotty or isolated in their coverage. Mix of sun and cloud, warmer temperatures for Monday and Tuesday of next week. A low chance of showers right now for Canada Day, Wednesday. And after that, a chance of showers on Thursday. For Nova Scotia in the forecast, some showers moving through on Saturday and then isolated showers on Sunday. A mix of sun and cloud on Monday, temperatures warmer, and then a chance of showers on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, followed by a mix of sun and cloud on Thursday. And for Prince Edward Island in the forecast, still expecting some showers at times, both Saturday and Sunday. The weekend won't be a complete washout. Then a mix of sun and cloud in the forecast for Monday and Tuesday. Low chance of showers on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Bruce.
Thank you, my friend. Wake-up weather still to come. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
All right, so summer is here, so it's more important than ever to do tick checks on yourself and your pets. When it comes to tick-borne diseases, in fact, it is possible for dogs not to show any symptoms. But as CTV's Stephanie Seacos tells us tonight, a vet clinic in Nova Scotia is helping to screen for those tick-related illnesses.
It's definitely been an increase. We've had, dozens of clients come in early on within the year as well.
The damp, cool spring brought on a rapid start to tick season.
Now that summer is here and more people are heading outdoors with their pets, it's crucial to be cautious.
We're starting to realize now that it's not just for those types of hikers and campers. Unfortunately, ticks have taken over our backyards, our sidewalks. They're a little bit more in our homes these days.
In response, the Cobequid Animal Hospital in Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia, held a clinic to screen for 4 different diseases.
We're doing heartworm, which is becoming a lot more prevalent these days, and it's passed through by mosquito bites. And then we also were testing for Lyme, anaplasmosis, and Ehrlichia, which are all tick-borne diseases, and we have seen an increase in all 3 of those in Nova Scotia recently.
Typically, symptoms of these types of diseases can include
signs of lethargy, decreased appetite, stiffness, or even limping that seems to switch back and forth between legs. The issue is with most tick-borne diseases, a lot of dogs don't actually show symptoms, or they don't show symptoms right away.
Because of Nova Scotia's climate, it's recommended dog owners give their pets flea and tick medication all year round. Stephanie Seco, CTV News, Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia.
Thank you, Stephanie. Time for one final break tonight. Coming up, honoring a genuine hero. First, though, it's your wake-up weather. Here's a live look at the moonlit Confederation Bridge on this Thursday evening. 8 degrees there right now, but pretty, isn't it? Kaylin's wake-up is next. Okay, Friday morning upon us now. First weekend of summer.
Yes.
And the best way to kick that off is the wake-up weather.
Yeah, summer solstice, of course, occurring this past Sunday. And coming up for Friday around the Maritime to start off the day, there's going to be some fog patches around. There'll be some increasing cloudiness. And we've got some showers that'll be developing through the day on Friday for the province of New Brunswick. Now, some of those showers will arrive later Friday evening and Friday night for both Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia. And as Bruce mentioned, for that first summer weekend for the Maritimes, there's still going to be a few showers around the region. Bruce.
All right, thank you, my friend. We'll see you again tomorrow. Well, a St. John man has received North America's highest honor for civilian heroism. CTV's Avery McRae spoke with him today about his life-saving efforts of a teenager that happened at a popular beach last year about this time.
It felt very fast and incredibly long at the same time.
Matt Baxter was on site working with city officials on a new volleyball court for the park when he heard a commotion coming from the water. After seeing a teen struggling, he raced down to the shore, only managing to get his helmet and vest off before diving into the chilly 60-degree waters and swimming out over 100 feet to the boy, steel-toed boots and all.
As I was hitting the water, that's when I was like, this is happening. And it wasn't, am I going to stop? It's this is happening and I need to get there.
His experience in the armed forces came in handy during the rescue, as he managed to grab the boy and slowly bring him ashore. Baxter's act of heroism quickly made its way to City Hall, and last summer he was honored by the city with the Council Commendation. Now it's another award Baxter is receiving, the Carnegie Medal for Heroism, which is one of North America's top civilian honors for those who risk their lives in an attempt to save another.
Honestly, I'm proud of this one. I'm just very grateful. I'm grateful for how it turned out, first and foremost, and that was good enough. But this is pretty cool.
Avery McRae, CTV News, St. John.
It is pretty cool. Congratulations to him. Okay, that's your late news for tonight. If you joined us a little bit late, you'd like another look at anything you've seen this evening, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. It is, after all, always your home for news. I'm Bruce Frisco. Thank you for staying up late with us tonight. Have a good evening, and we hope to see you again tomorrow for Friday.